We are taught the value of getting along with each other since kindergarten. Collaboration is just as important today as it was back then. This is the opening statement on the University of Phoenix Learning Team's webpage. It basically sums up the importance of teamwork while necessitating the need for it in the learning environment. The following presentation will focus on team collaboration while providing useful information regarding team structure, learning team roles, facilitation, conflict resolve, and team success. By providing useful tips regarding public speaking do's and don'ts and meeting approaches useful for the strengthening of collaboration skills and productivity, we seek to provide insight on why and how learning teams are in fact beneficial. Why the University of Phoenix has learning teams and its relevance in the workplace. The learning team experience at University of Phoenix does in fact provide knowledge that can be utilized in the professional world as well. Team-based situations such as the learning team experience at University of Phoenix provide growth opportunities in fundamental areas such as cooperative skill building, team communication, team-based decision making, and collaboration. Why public speaking skills are needed for all professionals and why excellent skills are influential. In considering the mastering of public speaking skills, especially in the professional environment, there are tons of different attributes that can be learned, including critical thinking and strategic planning, as well as just the knowledge of the ability of how to approach certain situations and deal with them appropriately. That's the utilization of the critical thinking skill, as well as the ability to have sensitivity to others in certain situations, how to quickly think on your feet in regards to responding to situations. Tons of information can be learned that definitely will be beneficial for the learning environment as well as the professional environment.
How to get started within the learning teams. One of the best ways to get started is to start brainstorming on the learning team project. Get your ideas out there. Whether it's a bad idea or a good idea, throw it out there so that way your other team members can see what it is that you're thinking. If you're not saying anything, then nobody knows what it is that you may want to do in terms of it. Another way to get things started is to keep a log of who's participating within the discussion. That way you know who's bringing something to the table, who's not, who needs to participate more, and who's doing their fair share. This will also help out when it comes down to delegating the work. You do not want to try to delegate work to somebody who's not really participating that much and that part of the work is not done. A good way of getting started within the learning teams is to find a way in order to communicate with each other. This is also a strategy for success. So you can use tools like Skype, Ventrilo, or Google Plus in terms of Hangouts. This way you can either find a way to do video conferencing or keep in touch through IM. Suggestions on what new students should use within the learning teams. My opinion, Google Hangouts has been perfect to use for the learning teams. It has been a great asset for my team as we've used it in order to keep in contact through instant messaging, and we've also kept in contact with video conferencing. With the instant messaging, you can use as many people as needed within the group, or with the video conferencing, I believe you can use up to at least 6 people. This has worked for us. We have access to it within our cell phones and also within our desktops or laptops. This has been a great asset for us, and I also believe it will be a great asset for you. Strategies for success. One of the best strategies for success is to be able to keep in contact with your team. Having their cell phone numbers or their email addresses is one way that you can keep in contact and be able to go over anything that's going on within the learning team for the projects. Even using the learning team forums is a good way in order to keep in contact. That way everybody should be able to get in contact with each other no matter what. Another strategy for success is to set a schedule that all the team members can follow. This way, everybody knows who's doing what needs to be done, and what time frame it needs to be done in. A good way to manage this is to have either a daily or weekly meeting in order to discuss what's going on with the project. This way, everybody's kept in the loop. Everybody knows what's going on. Now, there may be some disagreements within the group on how the project should flow. This is normal. This should be encouraged. That way more ideas come out. That way more can be done, more can be used with the project. So it's not good to just settle on an idea just in order to stop the arguing. As long as it's controlled, it should keep going. That way better ideas can come out, better ideas can flow.
Addressing roles in a team. Uh, this is done at the beginning of each week, sometimes even before the week starts. Uh, as we talked earlier about the team meetings that we have, the team leader will usually look ahead and see what kind of task is coming up. And he will break it down to what needs to be done. And in most cases, we'll already have it delegated out at the team meeting. And this is when the team members talk about, like, would it be okay if I swap this with this person? And this is where, the team cohesion, collaboration, and teamwork really come into play. One of the hardest things to deal with is people that don't show up to these team meetings. And in a lot of cases, they will get docked on the log, and they may get a decreased workload or no workload at all. But that's why it's important to have these team meetings and have a strong communication. The best way that I've found to create a easy forum for everybody to use and get everybody on board is to use the learning team charter that gets filled out as soon as you get placed in your teams. Uh, you look at that and you go over and look what times can everybody meet. And I try to schedule a meeting same day at the beginning of every week so we can all get together. If anybody has any trouble with their schedule, it's easy enough to move things, an hour here, an hour there, maybe 30 minutes. But it's important to get everybody on the same page and go ahead and get started early on in the week. I enjoyed using Google Plus. You can use that on your mobile phone. Has instant messaging, and you also have your video communications. It's been a great tool for my team, and we have been very successful with it.
Maintaining contact throughout the week is important, especially midweek when ideas are really starting to form and take shape. Don't wait till the Friday before something's due to start working on it. You can't expect to have anything useful to add by not putting in a good effort. Rushing to finish a project isn't going to help anyone. Make sure you have high quality content to add. Your team's counting on you to make a positive contribution to the assignment. When you're working on the project, it's a good idea to stay in contact with your team members throughout the week. Plans can and do sometimes change. Sometimes an idea gets scrapped and reworked and you'll need to know about it. That way you have enough time to change it if need be. Make sure you stay flexible. Here are some do's and don'ts for virtual presentations. Smile. Yes, it can be hard to do, but it sells you as the presenter and shows your interest. If people get the impression you aren't interested, why should they be? Use good posture. Sit up straight. Not only does it look better on camera, it helps you breathe easier so it doesn't sound like you're gasping for air. Speak slowly and clearly. Don't rush things. Pause every so often to let big points sink in. Make your audience remember what you talked about. Keep eye contact. This one can be tough, but it's an important step some people miss. Make your audience see that you're talking to them, not somewhere else in the room or some other distraction. Don't look at another web page or another document while you're recording. Just focus on what you're doing. It takes a little practice, but it's a big step. Now the don'ts. Don't talk too fast. I already covered this, but I can't stress it enough. A lot of people aren't comfortable in front of a camera recording a video that strangers are going to see, so they rush through the presentation to hurry up and be done with it. This is a big mistake. It's obvious when somebody rushes things, and it detracts from the speech. Don't use monotone. Put simply, be enthusiastic about what you're speaking about. This goes hand in hand about being interested. If you're not interested, why should your audience be? Don't jump between topics. Try to make your presentation as cohesive as possible. It's going to flow better when you take the time to properly organize your speech. Try not to have noise in the background. This goes without saying, but don't have a lot of background noise if you can help it. This is going to distract your audience, and they may not pay attention to what you're saying.
In any team setting, we're going to encounter conflict, whether it be positive or negative conflict. Positive conflict is what we are looking for in a team. We want this positive conflict because when somebody challenges somebody else to do better, when somebody challenges me to do better, it makes the whole team better. It's good for team cohesion and team brainstorming. It just makes everything smooth if you can have a team that works well together. But then you have negative conflict. This is when like somebody doesn't want to attend the weekly meetings. They feel like they don't need to talk to anybody. They know they're just going to do their part. They're going to do what they want to do. And the only way to deal with this is talk to them. If that doesn't work, uh, a decreased workload, which will be reflected in the end of the week team log, all the way down to just have them completely removed from any team activities or removed from the team, which also will be recorded in the end of the week log. But conflict can be a great thing. That's what we want in teams. So look for the positive conflict. Don't always say yes. Don't be a drone. Challenge your team members. Working in groups, there's a lot of things you have to deal with as far as time restraints. Time is always working against us, it seems. But working with people online in the team setting, we have to work with other people's work schedules, with their sleep schedules, with their families, and even time zones. We all have to make the sacrifices to get up and go to work every morning, and we have to make the same sacrifices to get up, get online, and meet with the team. Um, I made good use of the learning team charter that's filled out at the beginning of the week, and that is your map to success. If you can successfully get the groups together and have everybody donate their time to make this team work, it can't fail. But that's why we're in this class, learn how to collaborate, work together, and make that time sacrifice. Delivering a speech takes dedication, time, and patience. To have somebody sit down and listen to what I have to say, it can be hard at times. The only time I'm going to re-say something over and over again is pretty much my thesis. My supporting topics, I'm pretty much just going to go through them, give you the facts and the information. And when it's in a speech, you're not going to be able to go back and reread it and look over it again. So I'm going to have to grab you, metaphorically, and have you listen to me. Really listen. I can use strategic pauses in my speech. Or I can be really loud and use wild hand gestures. Whatever it takes to get the attention, the type of attention that I'm looking for. So take the time, know your audience, and deliver. Inspiration, knowledge, deliver.
In conclusion, being a part of the learning team at University of Phoenix provides collaboration skill improvements. Utilizing the appropriate strategies does in fact increase learning success. Other skill enhancements, such as mastering the skill of public speaking, can provide numerous benefits that can actually enhance your personal, professional, and civic life.